Hey y'all, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the Crazy Short Bearded Dude. I'm starting this whole thing to uh, just kind of share my various interests with y'all. You can probably tell by my use of the word y'all that I am from the South. I am a God fearing Texan, born and raised. And on this channel, we'll be talking about really all kinds of things from history, theology, literature, movies and television shows, video games, board games, cosplay, music, food, everything in between. So, why the name Crazy Short Hairy Dude? Well, I'm a little bit crazy, and throughout these videos, you'll probably hear me express my craziness with all kinds of voices in my head that pop out on occasion in the form of various accents and impressions. I'm also on the short side. And so I'm the same exact height as Wolverine in the Marvel Comics. And if you don't know how short that is, just Google it. It's not Hugh Jackman height. It is definitely shorter, but not as short as they made him in the comic accurate Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine. That guy was way too short. I'm also pretty hairy. I've always been kind of hairy, even though I'm losing some up here, but it is everywhere else. And yeah, I'm a dude, born that way. On this first episode, I'll be taking a few minutes to talk about July 4th, which is today, or Independence Day here in America. On July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress, meeting in Philadelphia, signed one of the most significant documents in history, the Declaration of Independence. This document is not just a mere piece of paper, it is an official separation of one nation from a tyrannical government that wanted to control every aspect of its citizens' lives. The Declaration is worded very elegantly and brings to light all the grievances caused by King George of England. I'm not going to read it all, but let's go over the first part here. So it starts off in big letters saying, in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, because there's only 13 states at the time, hadn't colonized or expanded yet, so only 13 colonies, or 13 states at this point. So let's get into this. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Wow. Nobody speaks or writes like this anymore, which is it's rather sad if you think about it. All right, let's keep going. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So, not by the governed, the people governing, but by the people. It is a government for the people. And who's in charge? The people, not the government. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Excuse the noise outside. I live in an apartment right next to a busy street. So, prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes. So, don't be changing government willy nilly. It needs to be for very just and very strong reasons. Let's see. And accordingly, all experience hath shown, old school there, hath shown, that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. So it means we have a long fuse and can suffer a long time with stuff that is easy to suffer. But yeah, don't don't carry it too far, otherwise, you know, things will not be good. Things will get ugly. Now, this next part here, if y'all have seen the movie National Treasure, you will probably recognize this line here. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. And then after that, it kind of uh, goes to list all the various things that King George had done that was tyrannical, and then down below it is signed by really everybody who was there, all the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Most of them signed, kind of normally, but one, a fellow named John Hancock, he wrote his name extremely big because he wanted everybody to know that he had signed it, including King George. So every now and then to this day, you might hear amongst some of the older generations or on older films or something, someone said, "Yeah, I put my John Hancock on it." It means they put their signature. Yeah. I think more people should talk like this nowadays. It would probably confuse the crap out of the younger generations, but I believe it would get more people to think, at least, which is something we need more and more these days. So, obviously, we won the War for Independence and the sequel, the War of 1812, and, we've been an independent nation for the last 249 years. Not bad. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs. We've had good times. We've had bad times. We've had a civil war, but through it all, we've stayed strong and we have survived. And since then, we have repaired our relationship with Britain and are now really good allies. Honestly, I mean, we do have our issues with Britain, and there's some things that we probably don't like about each other, but we get along, and we saved their butt twice in world wars. So you're welcome, Britain. Now, my favorite film to watch on Independence Day is not, in fact, Independence Day, although it is fun to watch Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum save us from an alien invasion, and Bill Pullman's speech is very memorable. But no, my favorite film to watch on this day is The Patriot. So, The Patriot stars Mel Gibson as Benjamin Martin. He's a single father who has recently lost his wife, and he's trying to raise their kids and keep them out of all the conflict that's happening with the upcoming Revolutionary War. But it is very difficult to do so, and he has one son that goes and joins the Continental Army, and he's trying to keep the rest of them at home, but war comes to his own doorstep, and in the blink of an eye, he's drawn in after the capture of his eldest son and the murder of his second eldest by a British officer. Probably should have said spoiler alert, but the movie's been out for several years now, so if you haven't seen it, and it's kind of on you. The film has many scenes that make you proud to be an American, especially towards the end when kind of the final battle that they filmed there, when the colonial army rallies behind Mel Gibson running with the flag, saying hold the line, hold the line. It's awesome moment. It gives me chills every time. Also has plenty of humor, drama, romance, action, and of course violent warfare. Doesn't really shy away from that too much. Now it doesn't get like overly gory, but it does show that war can be violent and very traumatic at times. I think the movie does a great job with that. Now, one of the key cast members is the villain, a British colonel, um, played by Jason Isaacs. And I have to say, he is probably he played his character might be one of the most hated villains in film history, and mostly for the scene with the church, which it made me hate his character so much that I couldn't watch him in anything else for a while. Um, he does such a great job. He's a great actor, wonderful actor. Plays a great villain, but he also plays some great good guys too. Um, but yeah, he does such a great job. The film also starred the late Heath Ledger and the late Tom Wilkinson. Heath Ledger played Mel Gibson's eldest son, and Tom Wilkinson played the leader of the British armies, General Cornwallis. And he did a great job with that too. Great acting all the way around, great story, and one of the main stars of the film has to be John Williams' score. It is so patriotic, so epic, it just gives you chills to listen to. Fantastic work. But the thing to remember with this film is that it is historical fiction. So it takes place during real events, and there are some real events that are discussed, and like the ending at the when the French finally arrive and Cornwallis surrenders and everything. Yes, those events actually happened, but a lot of the main characters are fictional, and their main story is fictional. Benjamin Martin was kind of an amalgam of a couple different real life people, and then the writers kind of crafted this story around real events. And I know this film is popular here in the U.S. amongst patriots, uh, but I have heard that it is not so popular in Britain. And if there are any Brits who are watching this, please let me know down in the comments below, politely, what y'all think of it. All right. Well, this first episode, I know it's been kind of a short one. It's only not too long, only 15 minutes or so. But this first episode is coming to an end. But I want to leave y'all with this. Okay, we celebrate our freedom here in America, but freedom is never free. Okay, freedom always comes with a cost. And President Kennedy once said that the cost of freedom is high, and Americans have always been willing to pay it. It takes blood, it takes sacrifice to maintain freedom. That's just what it costs. And our brave men and women who have fought over the years in our military deserve all the respect and all the support we can give them. And of course, the price for ultimate freedom was paid for by Jesus Christ when he died on the cross for our sins. His death and resurrection paved the way for salvation, the ultimate freedom. Nobody in history could have done that. Nobody, living or dead, could have done what he did. And it is because of him that we can all spend eternity together in heaven with our Lord and our Creator. Oh, it's awesome. And all you have to do is declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that he is who he says he is. Call on his name, ask him to forgive you, and he will. All right. Well, God bless you all, and happy Independence Day.